I was married Catholic, and when my children were born, they were all baptized. My husband and I decided that we would find a church that we could all attend together as a family. So he took me to a non-denominational church. But what I realized was, growing up in a Catholic church, I knew God, and I'm very thankful for that, but I never had a relationship with Jesus. I had spent my life being very independent, very in control, very happy, very go-lucky. About 2 years after my daughters were born, things were happening that I weren't sure was going on. I was finding myself not wanting to be around my children, but not wanting to be away from them, not wanting to be around my husband, but not wanting to be with him. I was dealing with my husband being an addict, and I was having chest pains. I was sick to my stomach. I ended up in the emergency room twice in 1 week. One doctor approached me and said I was having panic attacks and anxiety. It took me to a very, very dark place. The darkest place I had ever known. It was preventing me from doing things in my life, but I was putting on a really good front. Fast forward to spring of 2020, COVID hit. I'd seen some ugly in some churches, and this was a good reason for me to stop going. I found out that they weren't going to open schools in the fall of 2020, but I had 2 girls going into 2nd grade, and that was not going to work for them. They needed more than that. So after looking around, I found HCA, and what a blessing it has been to our family and to my daughters. They have excelled in every way possible, and they know Jesus so well. They have started asking me to come to Hope Church, and I was very, very reluctant to come to church again. I decided I would come in and sit in the back, and right after church leave. And that worked really well for me for a couple months, until I had someone approach me, and they caught me on a really good day, and they asked me to join a team, and I said yes. But of course, there was things that had to be met. I was going to serve one weekend, and I was going to serve in the 9 o'clock, and I was going to serve the auditorium team so I could still hear the word. After a couple months of this, I found I was enjoying it. I was really enjoying serving people. I enjoyed listening to the power-ups. There was a happiness that was coming in my heart, and I could feel it reflecting at home, on my marriage, and with my children. So I started serving more than once a month. The real change happened when I came to church one day, and it was Hope Group sign-ups. I remember specifically walking in and telling myself, I'm not going to sign up for a Hope Group. It was a waste of my time. When I walked out of the service that day, there stood a good friend of mine, and she looked at me and said, "You're going to join my Hope Group, aren't you?" And I looked at her and said, yes, I am. At first, I was very quiet and listened. I also found one night coming in and breaking down and talking about the debilitating anxiety I was living with. And I had people looking at me, specifically saying that is not your identity. Other people telling me how they've dealt with anxiety and ways they've spiritually worked with it. I've had a recent time when I was going to go on a trip. I was in a ball on the couch the night before with anxiety, and I worked with my relationship with Jesus. And the next morning I got up and I got in the van with my family and we went on vacation, and I didn't let it stop me from enjoying my life. I have people in my Hope Group that see me in church, that come around me, that gather around me, that support me, that cheer me on. It's an amazing feeling, the community I got from my Hope Group. I would cherish it forever. This all started with 2 little girls bringing me to church, and a dear friend invited me to her Hope Group.